People the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps can be purchased at people.etsy.com. And I'm branded. Everybody around here knows me as the Purple Butterfly. My soaps are now going to be called Purple Butterfly Soaps whenever someone says, hey, you got a name brand for that. Otherwise, I'm still People at Etsy. And hold on. Sometimes the phone doesn't want to stay put for me. Let's fix this permanently, shall we? Let's bring this over here so it can't fly nowhere. Yay. Anyway, this is my new logo. As you can tell, I've used it a lot. I still have the other two butterflies that are also purple. So, I'm sorry. This is a slippery surface because it is the aftermath of a volcano. One of the things I want to talk to you about today. When I was making the, I just drew a blank. That threw me completely off. When I was making the BCA proof soaps yesterday, never did quite get the measurement on the cupcakes capacity correct. At first I was doing 28 ounces, which was never enough. And then when I did the, okay, it holds this many and it is this many, blah, 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 that gave me 96 ounces because 12 cups, you know, 1 cup each is 96 ounces. Except for I then found out that the capacity for the cupcake shape itself is 6 ounces. That's 72. So, of course, I had extra. But what I didn't realize was my crock pot, which actually does accommodate that amount of fluid and liquid and all that, cold process, you put the amount in, you stir it up, you process, you get the trace, boom, you're done. But hot process needs the ability to expand. So I looked up, and my oils were about this far from the top of the pan, of the glass pan, and I went, well, that seems to be rising a little higher than usual. I picked up my phone. Sorry, I have a puff there. I'll explain that later. And I started typing, hey, should I be worried it's hitting the top of the glass? And then I heard, boop, looked up. It came out of the glass, all over the floor, all over the... Fortunately, the entire surface of this table has a plastic guard on it. I took some press and seal and literally coated the whole thing. I'm thinking that way, if I spilled color or if I spilled, you know, raw soap or whatever, I'll be able to clean that up rather easily. I didn't know how much that forethought was going to benefit me a couple of months back when I did that. Because I got soap on the plug, on the crack pot, on my press and cutting press, which is what I use a lot of times to, you know, this surface here with the measurements. I use it to cut, I use it to insulate, so forth and so on. It's on my lamp. It's everywhere soap can go, it's there. Basically, I stirred down the volcano. Everything that was in the pot stayed in the pot. Everything that was on the table and the lamp and etc., I just kind of took a spatula and scooted it out the way and continued working. And those items, like here's most of it and what little bit I've been picking back up, that is unsafe to use for business purposes. I mean, personally, if I just wanted to stick it in, you know, the bathroom or whatever, I could use it. But as a product that I'm making for someone, it's not sterile. The moment it hit the table, it was no longer sterile. Even though the table's clean, It's, to me, that germaphobe thing I got, that's not sterile. That's not. So probably what I'm going to do is turn it into some dish soap. Anyway, that brings me to these. I have a dozen. Well, actually, let me show you the soap itself. I have a dozen of these ready to go. Ta-da. That's my BCA Cupcake Poof. And if I take the paper off, you can see it's a really pretty purple, well, not purple, pink and white swirl with a purple color. Ta-da. And that's a real poof. Yeah, I love it. It smells very gently like coffee. Scents that smell like candy and, cake and all that. It's kind of been done to death for a product that, is to make people aware of breast cancer. Not everybody likes cake. I personally love the smell of cake. But by the same token, not many people want that with a perfumey scent. I do have 3. This one, and this one left over. That's for my family. We tend to like unscented and peppermint. But for the BCA poofs, I made a very gentle coffee scent. Everybody loves the scent of coffee, and it's not in your face all the time, So I figured I'd go with that. I did discover, however, and I'm going to show this to you. Boy, it makes more sense to arrange it like this. Here's a cupcake, here's an empty space, here's a cupcake, here's an empty space, cupcake, empty space. Spread out 6 at a time made more sense than trying to put them in there all 12 at one time, and then I ended up having to press it down to get it to stay in there and wrap it up while it was setting, because that was just not enough room for it to work. So I know for future reference, buy another pan exactly like that, use 6 ounces instead of 8, and put 6 of them in one of them and 6 of them in another one, and set it up like that. Another thing, I'm going over every issue everybody's addressed to me this week. Someone asked, why would you refer other people for soap when you make soap? The reason for that is, like the person that continually asked me for a shea butter soap. I gave them like 9 links to a shea butter soap. I am allergic to shea, and I'm allergic to most tree nuts. A shea butter soap, the way I make soaps, I automatically buy the things I know I'm going to use. I automatically buy mango butter. I automatically buy grapeseed oil. I automatically buy coconut oil. I automatically buy every ingredient that I use. I don't automatically buy shea butter. I don't automatically buy, what is that stuff? Olive oil. I don't automatically buy things that I know I have an issue with, okay? One of my best friends, her issue, okay, I can use olive oil, on my skin. Internal might be a little challenging. I can eat olives, but olive oil itself can make me break out. She can't touch olives. She can't smell olives. She can't put it on her skin. She can't use it internally. Why would I buy olive oil knowing that she's one of my main customers and one of the main people I make soap for, and then have to tell her something like, well, here's 42 soaps I make. Here's the one you can use. Really? Wouldn't it make more sense? Hey, I don't use olive oil. You can use any other soaps here. Well, by the same token, I don't use shea. I can't touch shea. I can't breathe around shea. I can end up in the hospital over shea butter. So for me to make shea butter soap, I would have to special order shea. I would probably need a double mask. I would have to be extremely careful. That takes the fun out of making soap and turns it into work. And then I have to go through this whole process to make a batch of soap when they're probably going to order one soap because they asked about a shea butter soap. It makes more sense financially, that along considering the safety of my allergies, for somebody to say, hey, you got a shea butter soap? No, I don't. I don't make shea, but I know so-and-so makes shea, and this person makes shea. I'm going to refer you to that individual because they will already have it in their inventory because it's one of the soaps they automatically buy or one of the ingredients for a soap that they automatically buy. It's like I know someone that makes a honey soap. I'm allergic to honey, pollen, bees, flowers. That entire food chain can send me to the hospital. I'm not going to even have beeswax in the house. I know a lot of people swear by it. Fine, you swear by it. And when somebody asks me for it, I'm going to send them to you. And that's what I do. It's actually win-win because they get the customer. I get the props for sending them a customer that can accommodate what they're looking for. I don't have to deal with the allergy situation of it all, so forth and so on. And they know that as their customer, I'm looking out for them, so they might turn around and buy a soap that I can produce and send to them while they get their fix on the honey or the shea or the olive oil, so forth and so on. I think it's a win-win. It works out well. By the same token, and I do love my scent. I do love making colors. I do love trying to make soaps nobody ever thought of, like the Peppermint Overload. That's a hot process saline swirl, which is a cold process method, with a bamboo swirl top, also a cold process method that no one has ever been able to do successfully hot process because it gets thick and all that. I figured out how to get that to work. It takes a lot longer to dry and, cure and, But I did it. But by the same token, while I'm doing that, they're doing stuff that I can't do. Like one person tried pine tar soap. She said, you know what, you can refer me, but I'll make any soap except the pine tar soap. Apparently that was a one-time thing. Her whole house smelled like it. And pine tar is not a bad scent. I used to use it as a kid, especially sulfate and all that stuff, in my hair. But if you have to live around something, it helps if you could live around it. The pink sugar. I love the smell of pink sugar. I'm making this soap. I look back a few videos. You will see this. I'm mixing it up. I'm doing the swirl and all. But when I sneeze, instead of the sneeze going hat-choo, the sneeze went hat-choo. Something fell over, which fell into literally the entire setup of the colors that I was swirling together went in sequential order, like a domino effect. And I barely saved half the batch. And I was thinking, oh, that was a fluke, what happened? Why am I sneezing? Then I tried to use this scent again. Same thing happened. So I figured out real quick, there is something about pink sugar fragrance oil that I'm allergic to. When I smell it, I sneeze. When I try to use the fragrance oil, I sneeze. But guess what? It's one of my most highly sought after requested products. So how do I make pink sugar that apparently I can't breathe around and satisfy a customer who only wants the pink sugar? Never mind the fact I got vanilla. Never mind the fact that I got peppermint. Never mind the fact that I got a Victoria's Secret scent that they've requested time and time again. They want that pink sugar. Well, I know somebody that can make pink sugar. They said, I don't like it, it turns brown. I was like, yeah, to me it looked like caramel. It did turn brown on me. But with the swirls and stuff I added, it was actually a circular mold and a funnel pour, and when you cut it, it looked like undulating shades of, you know, the colors, and then the brown made it look like caramel. If the customer don't mind the fact that it turns brown, and they just want that scent, hey, don't worry about what it looks like. Go ahead and sell it to them, because I can't accommodate that customer over pink sugar. So when it comes to customer satisfaction, it doesn't matter to me if I lose the sale. I'm going to send you to a customer that can accommodate you. By the same token, there's a couple of soaps I make that I know somebody will send to me because they're not going to make it or they can't make it or whatever. Like when I, used to put the beets in the cold process soap, and it would be a pretty pink color for about 5-6 days. Then it turned that funky gray color. But the beets, the benefits of that product in the soap was still on point. Cold process, however, it turns an acid yellow, which means now I got to find colors to cover up that acid yellow, because that's the color beets naturally turn when lye hits it. But it still has the benefits to the skin, so forth and so on. There are some soaps I've added beets to, but I've added color to, so you never know it. There are some soaps that has rooibos tea or rubiose tea. I never could say that. But by the same token, the expert that I know makes this product and makes it well is the one that sent me the rooibos tea. And I had no problem sending a customer over to her and say, hey, there's somebody that's looking for South African rooibos tea in a soap. She happens to be from South Africa. She gets this stuff all the time. It's not expensive to her because that's where she lives, that's where she makes it, and that's where she'll send it from. Works out, right? Anyway, I've rambled on enough about that. I showed you the BCA Puff soaps, and I got 6 more over there. I've told you about the volcano. I'm goofy that way. It's like when it starts to hit the glass, I just hit the record button. Then I try to get it up. It's like anybody else would be like, fool, fix that. Why are you putting up? But I figured every soaper hears about a soap volcano. Very few actually have to deal with it in real life. And that was my one opportunity, because I do not intend to ever have this happen to me again, ever. But that was my one opportunity to document it. So since it was already bubbling over anyway, and I was about to take a picture of the format of the soap, and I looked up, this soap volcano was about to hit my phone. So when I grabbed the phone, I hit the record and put it, somewhere off to the side safe. And then I used 2 spatulas, not one. One would not have been enough. Doing this would not have got it down. I literally took both spatulas and I started doing this to calm down that volcano. So there's a method to my madness even when I don't know what the method is. I'm weird that way. Hey, I was looking for these. Those are one of my pH strips, and I just opened another pack. But anyway, we've gone over the volcano. We've gone over the pulse. Oh, if you happen to be in Cincinnati area proper, my church is having a youth fundraiser at the Skyline Chili off of Galbraith on Reading Road. What's that? Cross Street. There's a BP gas station. There's a Shell gas station. There's a Carex. When you get there, go up 2 blocks. On your right-hand side, you will see that Skyline. Go order something from them. My church will get 10% of any of their sales that, happen to proceed from there. In the meantime, I got my Skyline. Yay! And I got some coffee, and it just occurred to me, I got my program right here, so let me give you that address. The Skyline Chili is from 12 to 3. It's at 8506 Reading Road in Reading, Ohio. And 10% of all sales go to the youth fundraiser. They actually wrote youth fund and says come out and join us. So go do that. Yap, yap, yap. In the meantime, because this is October and my breast cancer awareness soaps are done, well, 12 of them are anyway, and I will be making more of these, but I need to get those out immediately. It's time to start my Operation Christmas Child project because I am going to be making as many soaps as possible before November, so that way I can send them with the shoe boxes that we pack up for the babies. So that way, in addition to, gifts from, our church and gifts from other churches and a little seed from the Word and so forth, so on, there will be some soap because soap is health. In a lot of countries, they don't have any. That blew my mind when I first found that out. There is a lack of soap in almost every country in the world except for the United States. And we're talking babies. The one way you can keep from getting a disease, keep from getting sick, keep from getting a whole myriad of things is just stay clean. Wash your hands. Wash your body. So I make soap. I make soap for that reason and the fact that the stuff that usually cleans the body, I'm allergic to, so I make stuff I'm not allergic to in the proper format. I don't just up and say, hey, I'm going to make some soap. Nope. I measure the oils. I measure the lye. I measure the water. Then I measure the oils. I measure everything twice. I measure the lye 3 times. That way, when I put this stuff together, it's not eating up my skin because I am not a test dummy. I am my best customer. I make it for me, and then I dispose of the overflow by selling it or giving it away to certain charities, so forth and so on. So I'm never going to make a soap that will be lye heavy and eat up my skin because I don't want to eat up your skin. I'm not one of people to go, oh, well, the customer never know. I am the customer. I am the first customer. The first batch of every soap goes in my cupboard. You know what I'm saying? And look at my skin. Clear, clean. Because I keep it that way because I use the proper ingredients. I don't just take water. I take distilled water. I don't just take some drain cleaner. I use food grade. The oils I use are the best I can find that I'm not allergic to. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. My stomach just growled. My coffee is getting a little cold. It's still warm, but I don't want to get ice cubey, and then I have to take it downstairs. Because y'all know how much trouble it is to go down them steps. I try to get everything arranged the way I need it while I'm up here. Because when I go back down them steps, I'm going to stay down there for a while. And then when I come back up here, I'm going to stay up here. Because, I'm older, and knees be hurting on a girl. So, y'all stay blessed. Stay tuned. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out Purple Butterfly Soaps. I'm known as Peepla the Purple Butterfly. My blog can be located at purplebutterfly-peepla.blogspot.com. And my soaps can be purchased, as always, at peepla.etsy.com. Bye, babies.